The general says, Liberians, our youth are not criminals. They are our future. They are our precious jewels. One nation, one people, united we stand, divided we fall. It's time to rise and save our generation. Drug-free Liberia, let us stand as one. Help our sons and daughters before their lives are gone. Pastors, leaders, governments hear the cry. Too many young people falling every day and night. One love, one love, one love, one love, one nation. Together we must fight. Bring hope to the darkness and lead our youth to light. United we stand, divided we fall. God bless Liberia. We must save them all. Look around the streets, what do we see? Young people crying for opportunity. Some lost in drugs, some lost in pain, trying to survive through the struggle and rain. That boy on the corner could be my brother. That young girl suffering could be your mother. That drug affected man is somebody there. So why do we judge instead of showing care? We cannot sit and pretend we don't know, while the future of Liberia slowly falls below. The youth are tools, precious and bright. They need direction, love and light. Community leaders, where do we stand? Pastors and teachers, let us join hands. Government leaders, see the people cry. Save our children before another dies. Stop putting politics inside this fight. Drugs destroy both day and night. Let's go after dealers poisoning our land and help the victims rise again and stand. JMD, oh! Drug-free Liberia, oh! Let us stand as one. Let us stand as one. Help our sons and daughters, hey, before their lives are gone.
Okay, good morning, good morning. You hear me, George?
Yeah, General, I can hear you loud and clear. Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you're doing good. And those of you who are listening to us by way of radio, Facebook, YouTube, we want you to please share this video. Welcome to another brand new day. A brand new day. A drugs-free Liberia begins with us. Good morning, fellow Liberians. A nation cannot build a prosperous future while its young people are being destroyed by drugs. A nation or Liberia cannot. We will destroy our young people. What else? Just by drugs. Every child lost to addiction is a dream stolen. Every child. You see that child in the street, you laughing. You say, oh, coach, they're standing, knocking their head, falling. Their dream are being stolen. Every community poisoned by drugs is a step backward for our country. A drug-free Liberia is not just a slogan. Yeah, it is a national responsibility. Today we ask, what kind of Liberia do we want to live for our children? A nation where drugs destroy lives, families, and communities. A nation where every young person has the opportunity to learn, work, and succeed. The fight against drugs cannot be left to what? Government alone. It requires honest leadership, strong laws, enforcement, responsibility, parents, committed communities, schools, churches, mosques, and every citizen. Those who traffic drugs for personal gains are stealing the future of Liberia. They must be held accountable. We continue to say this, regardless of their status or influence. As citizens, we also have a duty. We must reject corruption, my people. Refuse to protect criminals. We should report illegal activities in our area. And let us elect good leaders who value integrity, justice, and well-being of the people. Our vote is one of the most powerful tools we have to shape the future of our nation. Liberia deserves better, my people. Our children deserve better. The time has come to stand up, stand together, not divide us. We shouldn't divide ourselves because of our tribe or county or religion, but we should unite by one purpose: building a safe, peaceful, and drug-free Liberia. The whole drugs issue is not about CDC, ANC, UP. It's a national issue. These are Liberians who are going through it. Let us choose hope over fear, responsibility over silence, and courage over competence. Complacency. Let us choose courage over complacency. We can just relax and say, oh, nothing. We should have that courage. We should have that courage. That courage to say, yes, we will stand up. These are our children. They can use Liberia to traffic the drugs. They can use that. How the drugs enter in Liberia? That is the $64 question that nobody can answer. Together, no matter what happens, together, we can protect the next generation. Trust me. If we can do it together, we can. Let us stop praising these people, healing them, glorifying them. Together we can protect the next generation and build the Liberia we all have always dream of. This is Independent Minds for a Better Liberia. Wherever you are, share the video, where we believe that real change begins with informed citizens. It begins with you and myself, honest leadership, and share commitment to our national or our nation future. We must have the same ideas. Don't sit there and think that it's a one-person thing. The politician cannot solve this problem. The Constitution gave us the ability to make the change. So I'm not going to waste no time. I'm going to play. Yesterday, Alex Cummings had an interview with Closing Arguments. And I want us to listen to some of the things that he said. So I want you to hear it for yourself. After that, we will open the line and let's hear from you. How many of our leaders speaking out? This man have had an interview with every little, he do not even refuse to say, oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it. But we want you to listen. That is why we put him on the radio. He will go around the country again. He's the only guy that went around and visited 73 districts. My people, y'all don't know. But because the politicians, the so-called ones, the ones that are afraid to hear his voice, that when he's president today, he will spoil the chopping. But guess who will benefit? You, the people. That's why he said we should pay living wage, not minimum wage. We will understand the meaning, dignity of labor, that the men are sweeping in the street. will enjoy his money. He will not argue because they will have a respect. Because if you see him sweeping, you'll not just throw dirt. That is why today everybody want to be office boy, because we don't respect certain jobs in Liberia. We don't respect mechanics. We don't respect contractors, builders, people who in the street sweeping. We don't respect these people. Only certain jobs we can respect. Even police, we don't respect them. That's why he said the people that are doing the work, the police, the military, the nurses, the teachers, the doctors, these are the people who must get paid. We use technology. DEA will fight. He said, and I believe it. It was if Ernest Cummings was president, this will not happen, because you understand the DEA will have the logistic to fight drugs. You not see DEA running all over the street acting a policeman. Let's listen to what Mr. Cummings said, just a little bit, and then we'll open the lines for you to make your call. We are tired, my people. Let's listen to this short interview. We have 15 minutes from there. We'll open the line.
And how's the family doing?
Yeah, no, thanks for starting there, Sylvester. Teresa is fine. Very blessed. Both of us are in good health. You know, I often say that without good health, nothing matters. With good health, you can manage anything, right? And so we're in good health. Our kids, Ayo, Boyka, both are fine. Grandkids are all doing well. So we thank God we're blessed in multiple and many ways, primarily with good health. So thanks for asking. But everybody's well. Teresa is fine. And looking forward to this conversation.
But are you basically pleased with the current state of affairs of the Republic? Almost $1 billion worth of drugs. A lot of folks within the national security apparatus, in the police, very high-ranking police officer close to the chief of police are linked to this issue. People from the deputy chief of NSA linked to this issue. Are you really pleased with the current state of affairs of the Republic?
Sylvester, I don't think anybody can be happy with the state of affairs of our country. I don't think even the UP government, I'd be surprised if President Boyka says he's happy with the affairs of the country. For all the reasons you suggest, Liberia is going the wrong direction. And starting with this drug issue, yeah? There are two parts to this drug issue. There's what I call the narco trafficking part of it, where Liberia is being used as a transit point for drugs coming in, presumably from Latin America through Liberia, repackaged, and then shipped elsewhere, Europe or wherever else it goes, to Asia, don't know. So that's one part of it. And then there's a domestic drug issue that's impacting our young people, the hopelessness of the country, and our young people taking drugs. And so this is just one example of why, you know, I believe Liberia is going the wrong direction. The challenges of joblessness, you know, corruption. I mean, the list goes on the lack of institutions. The reason why you got Liberia becoming a narco state, if it's not already one, is because of this corruption. People can be bribed, right? Senior people in government, presumably, are involved in this. So I don't know if anybody on this panel or anybody in our country who's well-meaning, who's objective, who's balanced, can say they're happy with what's happening in our country today.
Yes, Mr. Cummings, are you disappointed in the way the president is steering the affairs of the country vis-a-vis relative to national security? Because there's a lot of things unfolding currently in the Republic. We see the president reluctantly fired low-level employees of certain entity that even those he appointed should have immediately moved to dismiss. Are you a little concerned that the president is not doing too much to battle this drug situation?
I mean, it's clear that he's not, you know, and it's unfortunate. I know the president, he's a friend, but if you look at, you know, what's happening in Liberia, even his independence address, right? I don't think he mentioned this issue around drugs, right? The fact that, as you suggest, he had to fire low-level people, that's what the Inspector General of Police should have been doing, and all the various people in the security apparatus, that's their job for doing that, right? So it's very clear that the leadership necessary, the direction necessary, the decisions necessary to get us out of this morass is not happening today. And so I think our president has an opportunity to move this in a different direction for the betterment of Liberia and for his legacy. I think it's in his interest to seize control of the situation to move our country forward.
The question here is, if you were president of Liberia, what will you do to address this drug situation?
Yeah, look, I believe, Henry, if I was president of Liberia, we wouldn't have this drug situation. Liberia would be viewed as a state, as a country that is intolerant of, these kinds of behaviors. The people we would have in leadership roles, in government, in the security apparatus, would be people that would be well vetted, would not be susceptible to the sort of bribery and corruption that has caused Liberia to be in this sort of drug situation. The hopelessness that exists in our country. As I mentioned earlier, there's the domestic drug challenge, where our young people feel hopeless, no jobs, no skills, and therefore become susceptible to this drug issue. We will be addressing those issues to reduce what I call the demand for drugs domestically. And then the narco state, the Liberia becoming a transit point for drug trafficking, that wouldn't exist either. Our institutions would be strengthened. We'd have the right people. They would be appropriately resourced. They would know that if they got involved in this sort of behavior, they will not just be fired, but they will be prosecuted. There will be consequences for their behaviors. So you set the tune from the top. You set the direction from the top. The world will know that we are going to be intolerant of this kind of behavior. We will be working with our neighboring countries to also ensure that drugs are not coming through our borders. We'll make sure the equipment we need to protect our people, our borders are in place. So it will be a very different situation, a very different environment if we had the opportunity, the blessings, to lead our country.
Have you made up your mind to contest the 2029 election?
I have. I think Henry, I announced it at our convention in Margibi in December that I will be contesting in 2029 for the presidency of Liberia. So the answer is yes. I've been at. Will
you be a formidable force?
Well, that's the intent, right? That's the goal. That's the objective. I've been at this now for 10 years, right? Since 2016, we've learned a lot of lessons, gained a lot of experience. We understand the terrain. We understand the actors, the players. We understand the behaviors. So yes, Pee Wee, the plan is to be a different kind of candidate, a more formidable kind of candidate. And of course, you don't enter any race not to win. And the objective is to do what it takes to get the result that we want and that the country needs.
Mr. Cummings, you as a political leader of a political party have followers that were listening to you. I just want to know, what would a non-political unified national drug strategy look like across all administration, in spite of you being there or not? What would it look like as a, united force fighting drugs in Liberia? Another thing is, another question would be, what structural weaknesses at borders and ports continues to make Liberia vulnerable? And the last question would be, how will Liberia treat drug trafficking as a criminal issue, a national security threat, or both?
Not related, right? And as I mentioned, the first thing we have to distinguish what I call our domestic drug challenges, and then the whole issue around us becoming a narco state, Mexico, Colombia, etc., unfortunately. So, and there's let me talk about the domestic piece first, but again, they're related. It's hard to distinguish the two. But there's what I call the demand for drugs, and then the supply of drugs. Supply of drugs really is only the government that can stop the supply of drugs from coming into Liberia. That means the Liberian Drug Enforcement Administration, the customs, all the security apparatus, the NSA, need to be working in a coordinated fashion, working with our neighbors in the Mana River Union, in ECOWAS, etc., to make sure we're interdicting drugs, that drugs are not coming into our country. Those institutions need to be strengthened. They need to have the right people leading them, again, that are not susceptible to corruption, to bribes, etc. And coordinating with our neighboring countries, those things should be put in place so that the supply of drugs is not coming into Liberia. We are stopping, we're interdicting. And where it does come into the country, we are prosecuting those big hands, those hidden hands, not just the little guys. Because when people see consequences, that's the disincentive. And then the narco traders will go somewhere else to move their drugs through, and all the drugs will not enter our country. So that's on the supply side, if you will. On the demand side, that's the use of drugs. This is where I mentioned hopelessness of our young people, right? How do we rehabilitate those that are on drugs today? And how do we prevent others? And this is where both private citizens, and they are helping today, churches and individuals have institutions to rehabilitate people. This is where the economy comes into play. You want to create jobs for our young people. You want to provide skills, vocational training. These pieces are all integrated. And so if you want to tackle drugs, you got to tackle this holistically, not in isolation. And again, it ties to the economy, to job creation, to education, to skills creation. It ties to health and rehabilitation of the drugs folks. So these are all interrelated pieces, and these are things you need to put in place as a country, as a nation, if you want to address this drug issue.
So I have two questions. One, I'm sure you know I work for the CPP. A lot of people us believe in that campaign. And your former chairman, Musa Azambility, is on record for indicating that the results that you got were not representative of your performance. And a lot of us believe that. You challenged those results, but for about 2 weeks or so, I think you and Madam Beslow, I believe, and Dr. Kisser and others, I'd like you to tell us why you didn't pursue your challenge of those results. Two, I'll just give you two questions, then I'll let you. My second question is this. You came out and protested the previous government through the famous We Tire campaign. Is the ANC going to come out to protest this government? If not, why?
All right, thanks, Victor. Yeah, look, I don't know how helpful it is, and take this response in the right spirit, please, to relitigate the past. I also, and I've said this publicly, that the quote unquote 1% result was nonsense, right? And there are so many examples and reasons why that was the case. But at the end of the day, Victor, I didn't believe that challenging it would have changed the outcome, right? And so didn't want to waste time and resources to challenge a process where I believed then, and I do now, that it would not have changed anything, right? And we'd be spending a lot of time, resources, And so I decided it is what it is. We'll let it go, and we'll focus on the future. I often say, Victor, that you can learn from the past, but you can't change the past, right? Even this conversation we're having, whatever was done a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, we can't change. We can learn from it, but we can impact now, this second, and the future. And that is my orientation. And so I want to learn from mistakes, and many mistakes. If we have time, we can talk about those so that we will get a different outcome. But I focus on the present and the future and not on the past. But quick answer to your question, though, I didn't think it would change the result, the outcome. And so I didn't want to waste time and resources to put the country through that drama. On quote unquote protest. Yeah, look, and by the way, we did the retire protest. I'm not sure how successful it was.
It's a CW news.
So there's some learnings there. But the way I think about this, and it's important, and I know you will understand, and others will, is that the focus for me now is on the government in power. The Unity Party government, President Boga was elected. He's now president of our country. He has the responsibility. He has the authority. He has the obligation to lead our country in the right way, that will benefit all Liberians, not just a few people, not just his partisans. And so we make no apologies for being critical of their performance. And if it makes sense to rally Liberians around any subject or any topic, we will be involved in that. We will lead that effort. We will support that effort, whatever adjective you want to use. We wanted to be responsible initially to give them time, right? But now it's been, 2.5 years in this process. And, take this drug issue, for example, Victor. If we don't see improvements and changes and transparency and the big hands being prosecuted, that would be a basis for saying, look, let's rally civil society, let's rally young people, let's rally mothers to make a statement to let the government know that we're serious about the fact that we're looking for different and better leadership of our country.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, Pee Wee, this issue at university is just a symptom of the challenges our country faces in literally every sector. Whether you look at in healthcare, the health sector, you look at the educational sector, you look at infrastructure, you look at governance, you look at lack of investment in agriculture. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And we're not taking any systemic, we're not building our institutions. We're not funding our institution the right way. We keep doing the same thing over and over and over. I keep saying this, and this is, not an Alexander Cummings quote, right? It's an Albert Einstein quote that you keep doing the same thing over and over, you now get different results. And the University of Liberia, the goes through is just symptomatic of our behavior as a country, right? We need to, if we're serious about education, we need to be investing in education. Let me talk a little bit about, and I encourage you and your listening audience to read our platform. We talk about the what we will do, we talk about the how we will do it, right? In education, we said, and this applies to every sector, that we're not going to try to fix everything, because when you try to do everything, you do nothing well. You do small here, small there, and you have no impact. Within education, we said we're going to focus on teachers training, teachers compensation, teachers at every level, university, secondary school, every level, elementary school. Make sure you got the right teachers. Make sure you're paying them in the right salaries. And because they say garbage in, garbage out, if you don't have the right instruction, the right teachers, you're not going to improve the educational system, right? And you got to pay them well so they're not taking money to change grades and all the nonsense that happens in that system. Of course, to answer your question, there are other priorities in education, vocational training, etc. I'm trying to make this short. But with regards to the university, is our premier institution. We need to be investing in that institution, both in the physical infrastructure, in the instructional, in the teaching, in the professors, improving the quality of them. And again, making sure that the output, that when people graduate from those institutions, University of Liberia, they are qualified, they're true university graduates, etc. So it is concerning, but it's just symptomatic of the multiple challenges we have in Liberia that don't seem to be being addressed, right? And again, you can point to almost every sector and you will have these challenges.
One, I don't know when the last time you saw the president that you guys had a conversation together. So if you were asked to give a recommendation to the president, what would you be recommending to him?
There are multiple areas where I would make recommendations to the president. I would start with this drug issue, that he needs to really personally take charge of this situation, really hold his people accountable, really make sure he's putting the resources necessary to fix the current situation and to prevent it from happening in the future, to ensure that there are consequences, that no matter who is involved, no matter how big or small they are, how close they are to him, he should set the example, right? But he has to seize this current situation. So that's one area where I will offer advice along the lines I just described. I will offer advice around the economy, around job creation, because that's an area that I understand fully well. And I think when you fix the economy, you start to fix many of the issues that our countries is faced with today, right? And so we will give him advice in that area. But at the end of the day, whatever personal advice I give President Boyka would be between he and I, right? You don't make public all the details of your conversation, but those are the areas where I will offer a point of view of our president. Again, the most current and pressing one is around this drug issue, but there are myriad of areas, and the economy will be the other one for sure, that will offer a perspective onto him.
Thank you.
What is your level of cooperation and collaboration with other opposition political parties? And it's convoluted. This question is convoluted. What is your level of cooperation and collaboration? And are you willing to join to form a coalition with a couple of political parties in which you will either be the standard bearer or not be the standard bearer? That's one. Two, you talk about education. I did a research recently, and my research tells me that from the 2023 census, there were 1.8 million children under the age of 15. Out of that amount, a whopping over 500,000 of them are not in school. Now, what if you are elected to be the next president of Liberia? What will you do to improve primary education in Liberia? Because primary education is the key.
Thank you, Jackson. So on your first question around, collaboration, coalition, etc., if you look at the history of Liberian politics, you will know, and I know you know this, Jackson, that almost everybody who's come to state power, who have won the presidency, have had to collaborate in some way, shape, or form. Whether you go back to the Unity Party, Action Party getting together, the CDC was Congress for Democratic Change. They became coalition because they had to also collaborate. The last election, the UP also collaborated with other political parties. So it's obvious. Any sort of sound person would understand and know that collaboration, cooperation, coalition building is part of the process of getting state power. So we are very open to that. This is why we joined the CPP. We were very active in the CPP, as you know. During my chairmanship of the CPP, we actually did very well. That's in 2020, we won senatorial seats. In fact, we won a majority, I believe, 70s, et cetera, et cetera. So, yes, we believe in collaboration, coordination, coalition building. We learned a lot of lessons from how you go about doing that. For the CPP taught us a lot of good and bad lessons, mostly bad lessons. So we'll do it differently. But certainly, we're looking forward to collaborating with other political parties and institutions. I said in my speech in Zwedru, as you know, I was invited to be the keynote speaker at a CCE convention in Zwedru recently. And I said, look, this is about Liberia, right? And I used the analogy, happy to be the driver or the cowboy, whatever it takes, because it's about our country. I also said, at the end of the day, the party will also decide, the ANC will have a role to play. I'm a part of the institution, if you will, and we will decide what role we want to play in this coalition and what role I play in that process. So I want to be consistent with that perspective that I've offered. But I'll also say that, as I said at the convention in Magiri, and as I said earlier to the question that was asked, I am going to be running for president in 2029. But open to collaboration, coalition building, because at the end of the day, this is about Liberia, and we want to do what it takes to change the direction of our country. The last thing I would say on that subject, is, if your aspiration, if your ambition is to change Liberia, and that is my ambition. My ambition, the presidency for me is a means to an end. That is not the ambition. The ambition is to change the country. But the job that allows you to change the country is that job. And that's why I'm aspiring, and perhaps that's why others are aspiring. I can speak for them, because we want to use the job as the means to an end. But the end is to work with Liberians to change Liberia. That is the ambition, is to change the country, and not the job for the job's sake, if you will. On education, the education statistics are dire. And you just mentioned, one of the statistics, and I assume you're correct, 1.8 million under 15, and many of them out of school. And even those who are in school, the quality of education, it's sad to say, but many of our quote-unquote educated young people are actually functionally illiterate, right? That's just the reality. It's not something I like saying or even uttering those words, but you have to start from the reality of where we find ourselves. So let me walk you through how we think about what we need to do to fix education. First, we got to make sure we're allocating the right amount of resources to fixing the education system, right? So you can't say you're serious about education and in your budget allocation, you're not allocating the appropriate amount of money to do that. I mentioned earlier, we will focus on the following areas. We'll focus on the quality of teaching and make sure teachers are well paid, are qualified, so that the subject matter they're teaching, they're imparting the right knowledge so that people actually, young people are coming out of there qualified. Our priorities said we're going to focus on vocational TVET training, as it's called, because not everybody will go the pure academic route. And if you're going to create jobs, these things are all related. If you're going to create jobs, you will need vocational skills in that area as well. So we will focus on that. We said we'll focus on adult education, to the point I mentioned where many of our people are functionally illiterate. So how can we focus on adult education, night school, and that sort of stuff? We'll focus on that. And then we'll focus on the systems and processes that will sustain the quality of education, right? I mentioned also in this lecture that we have not built institutions. We build around individuals, and that individual leave and things collapse. We need to build institutions. So the institutions to enhance, to improve, and to maintain the quality of education is something we'll invest in. And many other things you need to fix, right? But let's start there, and we fix those things, and we'll get to the next layer education. Again, you try to fix everything in education, you will do nothing well. You try to fix everything in healthcare, you will do nothing well. You have to make choices. You have to prioritize, because you won't have so much money, and we got to be realistic. So we are very clear on prioritizing. That's part of strategy. That's part of leadership. You have to make choices, right? And those are the areas we'll focus on to fix our educational system.
If you were to run again, are there anything that you would do differently when it comes to understanding the terrain?
Thanks, Robert. So there are multiple things we will do differently, and we've learned from the past mistakes, if you will. So in no particular order, as I mentioned earlier, we will manage coalition relationships different from what we've done in the past, because coalition collaboration is an important part of getting elected. We did not do a good job, and again, this is not any particular order, I'm just listing things I would do different, Robert. We didn't do a good job with our comms, media, and propaganda. We let the opposition define us, and we didn't define ourselves. So there's, gay issue bullshit. Excuse my language. I don't know if I can say that word on this platform, but we let people define me as being gay or supporting gay lifestyle. Complete bullshit, nonsense. We're not going to let that sort of stuff happen in the future. So the whole media, propaganda, communication things we will do differently going forward, Robert. How we engage youth and young people in Liberia, as you know, I think it's 70+% of the population is under the age of 35. So we're not engaging and directly, and if they are not part of this movement, we will not make the any progress in terms of electability, how we engage with women voters. Those are the two demographics that we didn't do a good job of engaging in terms of the way forward. So the combination of all those things, how we work in a collaboration with other political institutions, how we manage media, propaganda, communications, branding, marketing, how we define ourselves and not be defined, how we engage youth, young people, how we engage women. Those are all things we have learned, we'll do different. And the kind of people we have around me, because those also send messages, we'll do those things differently. You know, people often say, and I want to address this, Mr. Cummings, you know, go be senator, go be representative, go be minister. And those are good and important jobs. And sometimes when I answer that question, people say, oh, the man thing is too good or he's arrogant or whatever. That is not the case. Robert, the experience you get from that job, right, from those jobs, is the experience we have in Liberia today. You know, we said we're electing President Boka because of his experience. We're experiencing that experience today. That experience is what we have done for the last 40, 50 years. And the country hasn't changed. So it's like, go get an experience in a system that doesn't work. I'm not sure how that translates to even to electability, by the way, right? So, but it's not to say those are not important jobs. It's not to say I'm too good for the jobs or whatever. But again, if you understand the reason why I'm in politics, you will understand why we want to do some things differently. And again, I will not repeat the list of things we'll do differently if we want to get elected. Because you're right, by the way, all this thing I'm talking is just talk. We're not getting elected. It's an esoteric academic exercise. So great question in that regard.
I know you mentioned the minister position, the senator, representative, and all of that. I think you are absolutely one of the best choices that we have. 2029 is coming up. 2035, you're going to be maybe in your 70s, your late 70s. There have been questions about the possibility, if this run isn't successful, would you consider another run with the fact that Joseph Boakai George Weah will no longer be in the picture? Here's my question for you. 2029 is very consequential. It's a very important election. I don't want you to become minister. I don't want you to become senator, but we have to consider the realistic path to the presidency. Would you consider, and as much as you've been very definitive about running for president, would you consider becoming a vice presidential pick if the opportunity presents itself, which could potentially give you a clearer path to becoming president of the Republic of Liberia?
Yeah, look, I think I answered the question at the beginning that said, look, this is about Liberia. In my speech with that, I said I will be the driver or the cowboy. And I also said the institution will also have a say in what role the ANC play and what role I play. And I think that's my response to that question, right? And by the way, 2029 is my last go round, right? After a while, you got to get the message, right? If you try 3 times and you're not successful, then maybe it's not meant to be, right? You got to be realistic, and maybe Liberians want to go in a different direction. And I'm not going to be vexed with Liberians, right? We'll try to help in other ways, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll find other ways to help. That means we didn't make the case, right? All Liberians want a different outcome, want a different person, a different direction, and that's their choice. And then we'll all live with the consequences of, whatever that decision is.
Okay. How are you, Lofa?
I'm doing pretty good, Manel. How are you doing?
Okay, that's where we're going to leave it. And all the other things in back there are things that we have heard. You listen to Alex Cummings, as usual, it's not strange to us. He always gave his best. And he's the only guy, the only politician in Liberia, when it comes to someone speaking on national issues. He have gone to all kinds of podcasts, radio station, even the chicken soup ones. But people still asking. That is why, for me personally, that's why I support him. What's your take on this interview? especially when
You
it
know,
comes to the
Monet,
drugs issue that's going on.
so first of all, good morning to you and the guys in the studio. Good morning to beautiful Liberia and the people of Liberia. Those of you that are following us on the social media, good morning. As you can clearly see, I woke up trying to run out here and I grabbed just one of my glasses and throw it on. That's why obviously you see you see the quarter coordination here. But anyway, let me start off by saying to Mr. Cummings, I have barely seen a political leader who is so open and avails himself to the microphones like Mr. Cummings does. To me, it appeared like he's hiding nothing. Okay, there's nothing to hide. You ask him about the issue of drugs in the country, and he was very, very profound, clear about it. Look, we must be definitive with the decision we want to make. If we sincerely want to fight drugs, let us pay the police officers that are in the street. All right? Let us pay the people that are in the street and arresting drugs so that they are not easily bought out. That means when we pay these people good money, it will be hard. They would think about it. Not that some of them will not still be corrupt, but at least they would think about their job and the risk factor. So he considered the people on the job first before anything else, Mr. Kishan. Then he was asked about education. He didn't come and try to sensationalize the conversation or mesmerize it. Instead, he told them how he will address it. He said, first and foremost, we must focus from the bottom to the top. Again, he is not running away from the reality. Budgetary allocation. How much money we put in the budget so that the teachers can get paid good, so that they will not take bribe to increase grades or give students grades. So that means we are producing great, smart Liberians who have worked to get themselves to the position they will be at. So when they're opportune to serve in public office, guess what happens? Then they are also contributing to society in a positive way. Mr. Cummings didn't stop there. He was asked about 2029. Hey, are you willing to form a merger? He said, look, as I stated before, I'm always open and committed. But one good thing I know about myself is once I commit to something, I am sincere about it and I support it to the end. And you can see it through his personal life. All right. He committed to education. He obtained needed education. He decided to excel. And you see where he ended in his personal career, serving at the highest level in corporate America. And now he's coming to Liberia. We see what he did with the CPP. Even when he was stabbed in the back, he said, I'm not leaving the CPP. I am a member of this organization. Even though you lied on me, I will stay here because I told the Liberian people that I will come here and I will be about this. So you can see that he is genuinely about the law for the nation. So he's saying to them again, I'm not going to do the same things so that I can get the same result. This time around, I'm going to be very careful how I approach the idea of merger, how I work with other people. But it's not going to be about my presidency. You know what it's going to be about? The drugs issue, quality education, providing quality jobs for the people. These are the kind of things that I'm going to bring to the table with anybody who wants to form a merger with me, even though you see me as that value added, as an asset. I know you want me to be on your team. I know you would love to have me on here, but I'm not simply coming here because I'm Mr. Alexander Cummings. I'm coming here because of the people, the Liberian people who needs the help. So if you want me on your team, you must agree to pay the police officers good. You must agree to pay the nurses and doctors. You must agree that we will fight drugs with everything we have. If anybody is caught being a part of the drugs trafficking, even my brother or sister, they should get prosecuted. Now, this is where a lot of people will want to run away from Mr. Cummings to say this guy is too critical. And these are all of the things that he's saying. It encouraged me to get up more and more and say, look, I listened to Mr. Cummings yesterday. I was literally re-energized. I saw a reason to say it's a reason why we should get up again every morning. We should continue to fight for Liberia because there's a guy somewhere who sincerely believe that we can get this done together. He's not saying I will get it done. He's saying we. Consistently, every time this man speaks, he says we. So thank you for replaying this interview. I think we should actually give the people a chance to react to what they heard from Mr. Alexander Cummings today.
Yes, okay. I'm not going to add anything else. George, just open a line, and let's give the people the time to call in. What's your take on his interview? As usual, listen, we need a third lane, we need a new face. But this drugs issue is a serious matter. Since the president cannot stand up, George, open the line. Since the president cannot stand up, Alex Cummings will stand up, and we, the citizens, will stand up. Yes. This, yeah.
Go forward. I think we're not playing the audio from yesterday, the lion moment for the ANC.
Okay, play that one. While you wait for the call, play it. There will be a meeting in Liberia. Play it. You got it there?
Yep.
Ma'am, good morning to everybody. This is Levy. I'm calling today, Monier, and I have my little announcement. Like Chief I said, he's doing nimble to the support of Joseph Boyka. We have the Lion Movement in Liberia for the support of Mr. Alexander becoming president in 2029. Those of us who feel that the ANC is not doing anything, they're not promoting Mr. Cummings, the Lion Movement, the Lioness Movement is there, and we're coming to every county. Those who are just complacent and don't want to be part of Mr. ANC in promoting Mr. Cummings, the Lion Movement is there to promote Mr. Cummings, and we are there with transparency. We will be coming out on Saturday. So we have the Lion Movement that is coming to Liberia for Mr. Cummings' election in 2029. Join us. We are there for truth. We are there for transparency. We are not there for bureaucracy. We are there. The man Wata, the man Mata, the man Bendu, who don't want to be with the ANC. Come with us, and we will elect Mr. Cummings in 2029. The Lion Movement is there on grounds, and we are working, and we have been working. So come and join us. Come and join us, and we will hold everybody's feet to the fire. Even the leadership of the ANC will hold their feet to the fire. So this is what I have to say this morning. Join us on Saturday. We're coming out, and Tiafa Green will get with Monier. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's
okay. Thank you. Open the line. Open the line, George.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, George.
Good morning, Brian. And welcome to the program.
Yeah, this is Brown. That's okay. And let me thank Kushins and all of people in the state. You know, I listened to Mr. Cummings, and let me thank you so much. Somebody emphasizing how to pay our security officers so that they can, you know, involve in all that of things. And then he said it right. But another one that I want to add there, that even if you paying them good money, you must take charge and be strong. Because if you pay them and let them go along with what they want to do, you will see the same thing. You yourself, you see when people bribe them, then the head leadership will say, bring the money, you share the money, allege the one who's hearing on video and all those kind of things. So if the president is strong, paying them good money and making sure, emphasizing to those zero or security here, that this is what I want to see. And even listening to radio, because sometimes they put president in bubble, you don't listen to radio. So even if you listen to radio in the outcry, you call the sector minister and they want to brag, before in the morning you move in our community to know why it's taking place. That's the problem we have with presidency and the citizens in this country. Before I drop the line, I listen to the movement. No, quality here now, you got to be robust. And so if these people come, going community from community, you can't say because you have the good masterpiece, you got to be forceful to go in community. Some people not even 1 year, force it in their ear. Tomorrow they will change. Thank you so much.
Okay, my brother, let me go back to line 2 here until the president on the WhatsApp number. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, my
dear brother. Thanks to the general, and thanks to my brother Lofa Julius. They are a very committed soldier of the ABC movement. The ABC movement, I mean the Alexander Cummings movement, which means the ANC party. I really like the zest. I like the fortitude and the tenacity. I mean, when somebody they are all into A. It's not about greener pasture that the caricature rescue people. Seriously speaking, for the recognitions and pocket rap.
Calling from a new destination.
Yeah. You see, Mr. Kumi, trust me, we that see the value in Mr. Kumi, we will not be ungrateful to that value, we will not be ungrateful to that selflessness character in Mr. Kumi. If they guys for the UPs, the caricature rescue, if they don't value Mr. Kumi magnanimity, the magnanimity that Mr. Kumi exercise, that even some of them, they are a beneficiaries. The Joseph Walker is the beneficiaries. The entire UP, they are a beneficiaries to the magnanimity of Mr. Kumi, to the selflessness of Mr. Kumi, to the innovations of Mr. Kumi. They are a beneficiaries to that. Okay. But you see what they have today? Because of quality, they are paying ungratefulness to Mr. Kumi. And for us, we see Mr. Kumi as a serious value. Mr. Kumi is not looking at what he is at the presidency. Mr. Kumi is looking at the forward mark of the country. He's looking at the forward mark of Mama Liberia in a better stage. You see all the differences that whatsoever or alleged that people accuse that Mr. Kumi and Sleepy her. For so Sleepy, how they call it the 24th, I mean the how they call it anniversary, the 24th anniversary. Mr. Kumi goes for yeah. They only take a leader, a selfless leader that means work for country, can do what Mr. Kumi did. It's not a fantastic one that Mr. Boga. Okay, Boga. It's not a fantastic one that Mr. Boga and the UP regain. It's only a selfless leader that put country first over individual gesture that can do that. To have from here way as far as you do. Okay, Boga, thank you. Is our Boga. The first Boga will do Boga will innocent one political country first. He posting his ambition first. But that character is not in Mr. Kumi. So for all we see Mr. Kumi as a problem, and we will get our undivided and undisputed support all time to Mr. Kumi. To conclude, the political or state that Mr. Kumi is calling a given trust. Trust me, Mr. Kumi, you had millions of Liberia support. Because mind you, even people for the UP, Mr. Kumi got a support. People for the UP, they have seen the necessity, the ideology that you put in. They see the necessity meaning they see it necessary to join you in the cause. I'm talking about we for the CDC, we will join you our all. Okay, because mind you, our sister, our brothers, they are every day they are increasing. It's not a day when God take over the country. Even you, brother, in that mansion, you will not be covered seated. You will not be safe at that mansion. Okay, when all our brothers all over have been focus and focus, you will not be safe. So on the background, we see it as a serious gesture and point that Mr. Kumi is putting. So we'll join in the fire and we'll join to the 4 years. And thank you again once more again, General, and thank you to Lova Judo and also my brother, my dear brother Jody. Okay, Poga, thank you for calling. No master call 0-959-959-0881. I mean, go back to the lines. Let's not call this person right here because I try calling back. Calling back. 0-959-959-0881. Good morning. Oh, it's not be like that person not ready yet. Let me go back to the line. 0-7-959-959-0881 871-670. The number to call and be a part on the show this morning. DJ Constant, sorry I made some call there. 0-7-7-959. Let me take DJ Constant on the line.
My number is calling. DJ Constance here.
Good morning, my brother.
Now listen, I'm calling from Labavi. Let me say something. People should stop being hypocritical in this thing. People just talk. I was always advised, and I always continue. Mr. Kumi should move out there and meet people themselves. Forget about all these people making those we have this. They did it to other people. And meanwhile, that they pocket the 1 foot. If our Mr. Kumi move out there and let people start pretending that they advocate on your behalf, I always say the thing, and I would say, move out on your own. Don't depend on we being hypocrites to say this, that, and the other. We talk too much. We talk for the other party, and we won't pass it, and we replace it to the place of solidarity to Mr. Kumi. If you only listen to me and go out there yourself to meet the people, you'll see people. And we'll pocket what you say for even transport and stay right to the house and just talk. That's the only way you get things going. But if you want to depend on all these people pretending information, we are hypocrites. Liberia as a whole, we are very hypocritical in praising somebody. I won't even tell you what happened the whole weekend. People, they make you just tell the people, I won't call your name, and then after you gone, the police say, I beg you, we'll vote for them, man. We'll vote for them, man. That's it. They share the money and people.
Oh, well, that's the difference. That's the difference.
You meet the people, then you know where you're going. But if you depend on us, Mr. Kome, I don't want to say what happened. You know what happened.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, let me go back to line. Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Josephine.
Good morning, man. Josephine.
How you doing?
Doing great, man.
We're doing good, doing good.
Yeah, well, I was running now from the selling place. If you do my shop breathing before I come home.
Okay.
I want to say good morning to my children. I heard about the movement. I heard about the movement, but I don't know where place they will be.
Okay, I was saying a number to the person, man, Josephine.
Okay. Then I want to say thank you for the show again. I missed the show yesterday. I call. No way. Anyway, the time was a little bit short for us to call. Wow, King and else, they say time for news. I say, hey, let me say that, yeah. You know, we plenty like true. That's something that boy who just left the land. That's something he said. That's true. We know how to pretend. Pretending by in we the Liberians. But some of us, when we made up our mind, that's what I did. The time I was getting to Liberty Party, I used to be called directly on any yo, and then we don't see CPP, all part of the CPP. And when I ready to do my one, how I can count on radio so people will know. So what I'm thinking say, I just want to pretend. That's why I'm selling myself now. And I'm going deep. Sometimes when I get outside, I ask my friend women, but what party in? So I will tell me, CDC, I did. But how you see 2029, I will explain to them. For me, I can say, hey, well, if they are meeting women, I'm meeting whole lot of women. Therefore, yesterday I was to get it straight here to the cheerleader. Me and her talking, she said, I'm going to go back. So we end our talk. I was talking about Mr. Kumis. Then I told her, I said, man, I made up my mind. Who good? And I was listening to him while I entered. I heard him, he was talking. I said, with me eat my piece of bread for it before I go there, they from here to say anything. Everything Mr. Kumi saying there, they may not even president say he's sounding like president. He's sounding really president. For me and my children, we made up our mind. I'm meeting other people. They will tell me, oh yeah, what you saying that true about Kumi's business. But for me, I'm not pretending. I don't say like child talking to me, but I true he's saying. We know how to pretend. Eating the people money, you don't know how the person work for the money. They say you pretend, you won't pretend over it. He didn't see you, but God see you. That's one of the things you're supposed to know. See where you don't like, don't go around it. The time my mind was not on Mr. Kumi. And I even used to go around it, people then. I know, fuck on Mr. Kumi, BB people. Even the counselor said, when you see me, man, Josephine, so now he's street smart in my hand. Yeah? He's street smart in my hand. He said, I'm for party, but I will be CPP. When CPP broke away, I don't even call the counselor say again. I just feel weak. I said, but we're not together again. Why I will be mocking the people? But right now they play what anyone give me part of that way eat it. Because my whole mind, my heart, my everything are on Kumis. I'm not even talking about Kepamo because Kumi not talking about Kepamo. Kumi is talking about Liberia and the people that are living in this country. We were suffering. Oh, let me now. If my children were working, you think I'm supposed to say, now let my children bring food for me to eat? Then stay, I'll be passing around, selling short bread. I'm not supposed to be doing it. So my prayer for you, Mr. Kumi, I'm not pretending that why I put myself on radio. Let people hear it and carry it. Say, but you can hear my stuff talking about Kumi. Like I'm going to Kumi can. I dare with my 4 tests, me and my children. You're thinking your Baba.
Okay, man, Josephine. The numbers to call 077 959 959 0881 871 670. I'm Mr. Chairman for the Lion Movement. Let me try to call him right back. I think he want to make some announcement. Yeah, the number numbers to call 0777 959 959 0881 871 670. The numbers to call and be a part of the show this morning. General, you can coming from no call.
Yes, keep your calls coming in. Don't forget, share the video. Those of you who are listening to us by Facebook, YouTube, you can go to YouTube also and try to subscribe TGN TV and go to all the other pages. And Julius also share it on his page. Please let us share the video. Let us send a message out there. And we know when Alex Cummings speak, I don't like to say too much because everything I'm supposed to say, he's saying it. And to my brother Constant, I agree with you. But if Alex Cummings alone will go from district to district to district, trust me, this man, the only guy that went to 73 district, is not hidden. The record is there. Let us stop pretending as if we have not heard him before. The people that are around, the people that support Mr. Cummings will be the one to send the message. And this radio, right now, we in Sando, we in Grand Jida, the message is going. I understand your plight. Yes, let Mr. Cummings go out there. He will. Even President Bwaka, I don't think they ever went through 73 district. Like Mr. Bwaka, we know he never even went to the southeast at all. So he didn't go to 73 district. But people voted for that. But we're not comparing Mr. Cummings with the other guys. Liberians already, they vote for people because they love you or because you're from the same tribe. We understand that. But this man is running for president. Not even for people from Maryland County. That's why I always say when they talk about base are people, not area, not tribe. The people, whether young, old, working class, these are the people you say they are your base. Yeah, go ahead. Keep your calls coming.
Good morning, my sissy.
Good morning, my son.
Yeah, good morning.
He said it right. Mr. Thanks to Mr. Kumi yesterday. I followed his show yesterday on closing argument. And let him continue. God will be there one day. The story will change. Nobody must tell you, say nobody know Kumi. Say to me, because they people know him. But maybe they will not make up their mind to come for Kumi. Maybe this time around, they will vote. If they listen to the message, they all left will also decide. They all left with the voters. That who can say to you, but Kumi went all over the country. What place you not go? When I hear Kumi, you need to say I'm going to the door. You Kumi. How will you say Kumi not go to the 15th district? You go to the 15th district. Oh, he went to the 72 district. They say they're all. But in all level, who they voters? Right now, if you vote for Kumi, you vote for Kumi, vote for Bwaka. But if you want a king, you can do a necessary thing. The vote not a voter. That's all. But Kumi say just they both say they want Kumi to take Kumi. If they want we are to take we are whoever they want they will take them. So that's the after he goes to the chair, he get France, he get sick, he get from no that's the one. That's the one. Take my job having me.
Okay,
thank you. You know, Julius, what I noticed that women understand Liberian politics.
Exactly. Yes.
Sometimes I'm surprised when I hear some women talking, especially the people who down there.
Money, let me say something, right? George, can you mute for a second, please? I think the echo from your end. When you get a call, just let me know. Cut off. Shut up. Okay. So here's the thing. If you're to listen to a lot of the callers, and for some of us who have been engaging people, whether via the phone, let me tell you something. Even here in the United States, presidential candidates. Yes. Go ahead.
We have the chairman for the movement on the line. Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Josh. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Yeah, Josh. I actually been following the show, and you know it's a good thing that we're talking about Alexander Cummings and how he is also doing well as it relates to the Lion movement. Josh, one thing that we can say about this country, we have been kept in subnormality for long. This administration and also along with President, we administration, they have been having a malat administration in a sense that there is no productiveness in the life of the Liberian people. They have kept this country in total dojo because they are so avaricious for power, and we have always been the non-poorest country in the world. Check the World Bank report. While we have always been listed
in among the poorest country in the world. We cannot be among the richest country or even a middle class country in the world. Who to be blamed by that is it is our past leaders and our present leader. They don't have policy plan. Look at the country economy here today. But people want to come with debate, with false debate, false impression. We're not allow that. We from the Lion Movement, we're going to make sure Alexander Cummings, we talk to our people, disseminate the rightful message, and we are the rightful voice for the Liberian people, Judge. So we ensure that Cummings come to the executive mansion, comes 2029 to end bad governance in this country.
Okay, my brother. Thank you for calling. Okay, let me go.
Okay, that's a good thing. The Lions Movement, and there will be a lot of movement coming up. People are stepping up. And I want to say again, thanks to the audience, thanks to the station. And I want to make the disclaimer. This show is not owned by Kia Radio. Yep.
Welcome, my brother. Good morning, Elder.
Yeah, thanks very much. My brother, you know, Alexander Cummings is a smart man. I have said it. I'm a classroom teacher and I love, in fact, among my students, not that I don't love those who do better, but I love smart students because they are always above. They are within the reasoning department. And you see, Cummings has said something that the government, Cummings said if he can't hear, the budget will go to $1 billion. Yes, the government has supported, took it to $1 billion. Cummings came out for the drugs boss. Cummings said the drugs we need independent investigator. Indeed, we have some of our international partner here. It tells you that he knows exactly what he's saying. But I listened to something yesterday. I really didn't listen to it because I didn't follow the radio, but I heard it. That the General Cummings, Honorable Cummings said that once you got, when he become president, he will eradicate the issue of drugs. It's where now I got little doubt.
That was
something. I said this. I said this thing on the radio over and again. That my cousin West usually tells me, Opa, go for Kumi. Kumi is a smart guy. Besides what telling me, I'm seeing it for myself that he's a smart man. But the idea that he said when he get there, he will eradicate drugs. He said, yeah, that's right. Because even the great United States are not fighting drugs. If the country fighting drugs, can this country eradicate drugs? Would they kind of pull out all thing we have? And we have our security being paid less money. And you got a big fish getting all our money in this country will stay suffering. That's the question I want to ask you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me answer that question real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So caller, I'm getting echo for some reason. Okay, thank you. So I don't know if you really listened. There is no way on earth that any government can eradicate drugs completely. It's almost impossible. It's almost like somebody saying we will eradicate poverty. But what you can do is you can quarantine, which means you can control it. All right? Keep it at a minimum. And that is what Mr. Cummings have consistently preached. It will be controlled. All right? Where they those drug smugglers would not be taken over. And that is his position. But in order to make it successful, what Mr. Cummings said, like you rightfully said, is to make sure that the people who are doing the job, the security, the police officers, the immigrations, they are getting paid. We are incentive driven. If you pay a man for doing a piece of job, that man values his contribution because he values what is coming in. That is what Mr. Cummings is saying. You rightfully said every suggestion or recommendation Mr. Cummings have made, the current government is taking into consideration. But don't say Mr. Cummings said he would eradicate. No, there's nowhere Nowhere, any point in time where he said, because he himself understands it's a gradual process. He will work with it. But what he would not do, he would not be laid back, considering the fact that young people are dying. He would be vigorous in the fight against drugs. We're making sure that our police officers are paid, and making sure that we have facilities to make sure that these young people are rehabilitated. And that's part of the reason why an Alexander Cummings, as a president, will wake up in the morning when it's needed and read the newspapers so that he know what the people are going through, because he is still energetic enough to make sure that he's able to do that. I don't know whether our current president is that capacitated to wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning and get debrief on what is really happening. These are some of the things that we must look at. The issue of drug is paramount on his agenda, and he's telling you, let us fight it. Now to DJ Constant. I want to address DJ Constant. He have heard this on numerous occasions, and he is also trying to propagate the message of Mr. Cummings going out there. I'm not the only person who's about to say this, and there are several other people who have made the case that Mr. Cummings have made several appearances, several radio stations. He visited several districts. DJ Constant, I want to believe you subscribe to Cummings' message. Can you organize your community event so that we can ask Mr. Cummings to come and speak to you? It would be one of the best things that you can do. Let's start with you, because you're a Liberian. You're a Liberian. Let's work together, because you believe that Mr. Cummings can get this done. You're probably not coming in the public to say, yes, I am a supporter of Mr. Cummings. But you know that with what you heard, it's possible and we will get it done. So again, we throw the ball right back in your camp. Can you organize your boys? Can you organize your guys so Mr. Cummings can engage y'all? And let's see how that goes from there. And that's how you think it's going to happen. But Mr. Cummings alone cannot visit every county, every city, every town in Liberia and think what happened. That means those of us who are propagating the message, we are lazy. We are not doing our part. And that's, he will be asked to do it, but we must also do our part so that he's not taking all of the heavy weight. And then when it's time to perform as a president, you're not really getting what you're supposed to get. So we will all do it together. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, and also let me just add this. You know, Mr. Cummings said we'll handle this drugs issue different way. And you see, he's the only guy who can always say what and how. He said that we will provide the logistics for DEA, the police. We will pay them. And also, it's almost like someone saying that you can't say you will minimize corruption. You can stop corruption. And then you put in place punishments for people who will steal. People will still steal, even you put this thing in place. You even say that we will stop the drugs issue. Yes, you can say it, but what you're going to put in place, that's what's going to stop. And even you can put the strongest measure that when we catch you, you will face the firing squad or you will face the death penalty. People will still try to smuggle drugs. But you can't come out and say, okay, we'll minimize this drugs issue. No. I believe you can say that. I will stop corruption.
No, I mean eradicate.
But he tell you how he will stop corruption. Make sure you secure your door. Not because you say nobody can enter my house. You make sure you protect your door. Mr. Cummings said we'll provide all the necessary logistics for the police that will not allow you to cross the border. Even if it comes and say we will execute you or when you face the death penalty, people will still go through the border. They will try the lock. But what are you putting in place to stop them? In South Africa, they say if they catch you smuggling diamond, it's 20 years. But people still try to go through the airport. So even if Mr. Cummings used the word eradicate, where he never said it, but he told us under his watch,
it will be minimized.
Yes, certain things we are going to do. This one not going to happen. That is where the president is supposed to come out. And Mr. Cummings never just criticizing the Bwaka. He's still giving an advice. He said, this is what you need to do. Stand up. By this time, We should hear the president continually talking. Listen, guys, all these things you're doing. Can the president, that's why I will say this again. From 2029, to see an 86-year-old person and you say you want to re-elect them, and I'm going to play the tape while we wait for the last call. To re-elect them, what are we doing when you get a population that is 65%? Young people, you say you want us, even you 70 years old, it's not easy to get them. Especially when you never exercise before reaching 70 years old.
Exactly.
If you never exercise before reaching 90, you cannot go exercise in the age of 80 and you expect to be stronger. Let's be honest. People you see today stand and say, I'm 80 years old. That person spent more time training and today they're realizing it. So, my guys, please, this thing is not a rocket science, but what Mr. Cummings is saying, he gave alternative to everything that came out. This is how we do it. This is how we fix education. We can't do everything, but there's certain things we can do. Before you get a good education, you got to teach the teachers. Julius, you know, when I come out with new software, what they do? They train people first, and then you will go and train people. You can't get on the people. Yes.
Here's another thing here that I also noticed. George, if you can mute yourself. You notice, and Mr. Cummings spoke about this yesterday, right? Even the president is yet to address during his July 26th program. He did not speak of the drugs issue. He did not include the concern of the drugs issue in his deliberation. But here is something that really even had me wondering. How
Put that to the purpose, knowing that by 2023 you'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023.
Okay. Go ahead, Julian. We'll play.
So what he also said, and something that caught my attention, is the recent indictment of the guy who owned the nightclub that President Boycott went to when he came back from one of his travels.
How about you?
And he went to the nightclub. That nightclub that President Boycott went to, it is alleged that the owner of that nightclub, which I know they call it the private bar, hey man, how did we get to this point? Private bar. It is alleged that the owner of private bar has been indicted under the claim that, hey, guess what? He's part of this drugs problem. But this is where President Boycott, the president today, he went to say that under the claim that he went to support his son in a nightclub. Amen, Liberians. This man who has been indicted, the big word, don't let the people fool you. They said the man hands is part of the drugs business. That man, it did not come from my mouth. The information minister allegedly made such claim yesterday. That's the place the president went to celebrate his son in that nightclub. At 80 years, President Boycott went to the nightclub. Then the same nightclub President Boycott went to is the same nightclub the owner allegedly, and let us be for that part to be correct here. Allegedly, he's a part of the drugs thing. They have invited him. Hey man, guys. Can you believe this? Our people, man.
We have gone out of time now. We have spent more time on the radio. So we gotta let it go. And Saturday, Sunday, Julius, prepare yourself on Sunday for the political sermon.
Okay.
And yes, prepare something for Sunday.
Okay.
So guys, we'll continue to tell you guys. We'll continue to say it. I don't know why the feedback continue to come in. I think that George.
That's from George.
Yeah, just noticing it. But thanks again to everyone. Let me say this. We'll continue to tell you guys about Ellis Cummings, whether you like it or not. And Mr. Cummings said something. Let me clarify. He said, I will be the driver or the cowboy. Some people trying to put it in a different way. He can't, if you're going to say I will be the driver or the assistant driver, then you can argue. But he said I will be part of a coalition. I will be part of a coalition. Either I'm the driver, or if I was sit way in the back to be part of it, no problem. No problem. So you'll leave this whole vice president, the constitution, when you know the constitution, vice president and messenger, and I know big position. You will never sneeze until the president allow you to sneeze. So just start talking about that whole vice president business. He said, but I will be part of a coalition. Yes, if I'm not the head, I can still be the sweeper. No problem. But I will support the coalition no matter what happens. So he's not going to leave. And y'all know this man respect what he put on paper. That's why he's stuck with CPP. And that is what Liberian people don't know. Julius, the people do not respect what they write down. Even our constitution, we still go against the constitution. When it comes to contracts, we went against the constitution. And something that they say, where they say, every citizen, you have the right to associate or not to. They say associate and disassociate. They say you have the right to associate with any political party, any labor group, or don't. We can force you. But our educated people say you can associate and disassociate. If you join any group and the group say you will pay $5 every month, you're entitled to pay $5 every month. Even a court cannot stop you from paying it, because that is an agreement between you and that organization. Like you get your telephone company say, if you leave the company right now, you will pay $150 to break the contract. Liberians, our educated people, y'all please stop rewriting things that make no sense. And let me just end about this again, Julius, and we can put this one, squeeze it in. This whole 1 or 2% issue, the thing is clear, but our educated people rewriting it. They went to school. They said, if your party don't win a seat and you honor 2%, you will not participate. CPP won 6 seats. 6 seats. That is why. So have a good day. God bless you. And let us continue to do what we do best.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day for now. Yeah.
Good day, guys.
Independent minds for a better Liberia. I Moner Keshen approve this song. Independent minds, independent hearts, rise Liberia. The time is now. Together we stand, together we build for a brighter tomorrow. Wake up, Liberia, hear the call today. The future is waiting, don't turn away. With courage and purpose, let hope arise. A nation can prosper when vision leads our eyes. Vote for a leader with vision. Oh, a leader with purpose and mission. To move Liberia forward, hand in hand. Together we'll build our promised land. The change is now. Our youth, the change is in your hands. Stand up.
5 priorities we have. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, is electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. The next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not feed ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people, because again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care.